I'm locking everybody off. New year, new me, new people. It's all done, it's alright. I'm locking everybody off. I'm locking everybody off. I'm locking everybody off. I'm locking her off. I'm locking him off. Oh, I'm definitely locking her off. No. Her time has expired. I'm locking her off. I'm locking everybody off. In all seriousness though, guys, as you know, we are coming to what has been for me a great year. And you can just imagine all of the wonderful memes that are surfacing right now. No, I'm seriously done with you lot. I'm done with you lot, I swear. Not every year burn bridges. Not every year. Not every year. Anyway, this is what I'm coming to talk to you lot about. It's really hurting my head. And remember, I've said before that I would not talk on something that I've not experienced myself. So listen, I was too in this boat. But you know what? There comes a time when you have to start looking and thinking, hold on a second. Why am I attracting people that have like a 6 month to a year maximum period in my life? Why is it that I'm attracting people that are not lasting a year? No, seriously, I've come to reason with you lot. Just before, you know, this new year really gets started and you lot lock off every single contact in your phone. Let me reason with you. Don't get me wrong. I understand transitioning from people. I understand that there are, and excuse, I sound crazy right now. My nose is like, it's doing its own thing. It's blocking up. It's releasing. Stay tuned. Don't lock me off. So yeah, I understand transitioning from people. I do understand that, and you know, growing distant away from people. I understand that, but if we're locking off people every year, if every year before we start the new year we find that there's someone to be locked off, Lord have mercy, I think we need to start kind of asking some internal questions, like what personality are we putting out that is attracting people that supposedly are wronging us every year? People that need to be like burnt right out of our lives, like literally just thrown out of our lives. No long thing. Like, we really need to think about this. Like, it can't be right. It just can't be right. And in 2017 we need to be more guarded with who we connect ourselves to, who we let connect with our spirits, because, you know, don't get me wrong, there's a difference between connecting and interacting. I didn't say you shouldn't interact with people, so you know, you might suspect someone of being, you know, not good for your life, and so you don't communicate with them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying who you let connect, so who you let stay in your life close to you. In 2017 we need to be very guarded on that, but I'm not trying to get into that. That's a whole nother video. What I really want to focus on is forgiveness. I said it. I feel like there's I feel like a whole lot of you just switched me off, but listen, the way the world is set up now, forgiveness is not even a thought in our minds, and it's so wrong. It's so wrong. We're so quick to say, you know, luck off and cut it and all of these new ways of burning bridges. You know, we don't give a thought to forgiving the person. No, seriously. When was the last time you really genuinely forgave someone for what they did, no matter how big or how small the the offence was. When was the last time you did that? I feel like we don't do that anymore, and that's what we need to practice a bit more in 2017, because at the end of the day, you can lock them off all you want, but what you're holding them for is going to remain with you. So you know what, while you lock them off and they're living their life, you are still going to be holding them for whatever they did in 2016. It doesn't make no sense. You haven't really locked them off. They're still a part of you. They're still in your life, like emotionally. And so I'm telling you that the best way for you to put things behind you is to forgive, because that way you actually release yourself from a situation and them, but more importantly you release yourself. That way you don't have all these clammed up emotions that when you see them, the whole situation comes flooding back. I know that a lot of people would want to know, you know, what they're going to get out of forgiveness. For me, forgiveness is important just because God said, if you forgive others when they sin against you, I will forgive you when you sin against me. For me now, that's just like, he didn't say if you do this and you do that and you forgive them and you try to right your wrongs. And he didn't say, he said, if you forgive people that do wrong to you, I'll forgive you. That's it. And getting back to forgiving people, how many are you forgetting that you're human too? You do things wrong to other people and people forgive you, or you know, they don't really pay much mind to what you do. Whatever, however people deal with what you do to them, that should be a driving force to why you forgive other people, because you're human and you make mistakes, and you would hope that someone might see past your actions and forgive you. Listen, I was reading a scripture and it really, like, let me read it to you. Put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness and patience, which has the power to endure whatever injustice or unpleasantness comes, with good temper, bearing graciously with one another, and willingly forgiving each other if one has a cause for complaint against another. That was taken from Colossians chapter 3 verse 13, and I love that passage, because it just basically says, you know, I know people like to get their revenge and everything, but it just basically says no matter what is being done against you, have a heart of love and compassion. Look beyond what the person is doing and look at the person, and like, keep love in your heart for them. Remember them and the good that they do, and focus on that rather than the one mistake that they're making or the thing that they did against you. Because at the end of the day, the people that we're locking off, for them to have actually been involved in our lives, we had good times with them, they were good to us at one point or another. For you to consider them someone that you had to lock off, you had to have had good times with them. And so what happens to those good times when we're just saying, oh, I'm locking you off? What about that? Like, it just, there's no thought to it. You know what, we are people, and sometimes we're all up in our emotions, and we're leaning on our pride, and so sometimes someone might seem like they're not even sorry. But you know what, maturity is in the person that doesn't need an apology but still forgives. And this is what I'm saying to you. Instead of saying I'm going to lock you off, be the person that's going to say, do you know what, I want to forgive you. And listen, please, 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 listen, I fell victim to this. Forgiving does not mean reconnecting. Forgiving does not mean, you know, patching up a relationship to what it used to be. I'm victim to this. I actually really believe I believe that to forgive, you had to somehow, you know, just go back to the way it was. That's not what forgiveness means. Forgiveness is when you stop being angry and resentful towards someone that committed an offence against you. So nowhere in that did it say that you had to be best friends. Nowhere in that did it say that, you know, your friendship needs to go back to the way it was in 2009. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And I think that's where we go wrong sometimes, because we think that if we forgive, then, you know, we have to. No. Forgiving is to let go what you're holding them for in your heart, the feelings that are accompanying what they did to you, to free yourself from that also. And, you know, you may still grow apart. The person might not even be in your life after you forgive them, but the important thing is that you forgive them, because they can walk out your life and be like 10,000 miles away from you, but you're still going to be vexed, you're still going to be attached to this person emotionally because of what they did to you. So, you know, the choice is yours. While they're living it up, you'll be vexed. You'll be scrolling down your Insta and see them on the beach somewhere and just be like,
she don't even deserve it. I don't know how someone that did that to me could be living.
You get what I'm saying? And so forgiveness is important, not just for the other person, but for us also, because when we're holding hate, anger, all of that in us, we can't really move on. And God can't bless us in that state, because we're harboring feelings that are not of Him. He tells us to love one another. That's His main thing. God is love, and you can't love someone when you're refusing to forgive them. You can't love them, and so God can't be in that. Therefore, He can't really bless you. He can't release to you what is His, because you're blocking it with that. I feel like there's so much memes, so much pictures and posts that are gonna convince you to lock every contact you own, to lock each and every one of them off. And so, you know what, we need some more people on this side that's gonna tell you, no, actually forgive them. Walk into 2017 feeling light. Let all the burden come off of your shoulders, because in fact, no man, I'm talking from experience. I know what it's like to lock people off every year, and I'm telling you, it didn't go nowhere. They went somewhere, but the feelings that I was locking them off for didn't go nowhere. And it's funny how when you lock someone off, they pop up everywhere. They pop up on your Facebook, on your Insta, on your Twitter. They pop up everywhere. And so you're forced to just see them living life, like being happy, and you're just vexed because they did something to you. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Listen, I'm telling you, when you lock someone off, chances are they don't actually care.
Well, like, oh, you locked me off. Cool. Alright, I'll just talk to my other friend.
Do you get what I'm saying? But when you forgive someone, that's not... When someone is forgiven and they're not expecting you to forgive them, do you know how, like, that feels to them? That has more of an impact than you locking off, because that's the expected reaction. If I do something wrong to you, I'm going to expect you to retaliate, get your revenge, or, you know, to say, you know what, you're not chatting to me no more. I expect that. I don't expect anything other than that. So when you say you forgive me now, I actually feel quite bad. I feel even worse. Like, I'm actually sorry I did that to you. You're a nice person. Like, you're a good person. You just forgave me. Like, I'm telling you, when you forgive someone, it has much more of an impact on that person than it is when you just like burn the bridge. Anyone that truly knows me and knows my past will tell you, I feel like I was queen locked them off. Queen locked them off. I held that title. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting, I'm not proud of it either. I'm just saying I know about locking people off, and this is why I'm talking right now. It got me nowhere. There's no fun in doing that. Like, one day you look around and there's no one there. Like, it's just you. You've locked everyone off. It's just you now. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what? Don't answer that. I saw something on Instagram that said, you know what, I'm leaving myself in 2016. Like, I can't. I'm so done with you lot. I'm so done with you guys. I'm so done. But as I was saying, it's a very lonely business locking people off, and I got to a place where I had no one left. Like, I probably had one friend, because I was locking everybody off, and I had so much enemies now. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth it. It didn't benefit me, because at the end of the day, when I cooled down and my anger subsided, I was like, you know, we had a good thing. Me and this girl, and me and that girl, and me and the other girl, we had a good thing going on as friends. And me with my pride, I'm not coming to say sorry. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was just a dead cycle. It just did nothing for me. This year I think I've learned the true meaning of forgiveness, and not just learning it but practicing it also, because before, I've been saved for 2 years, over 2 years. I always knew that God told us to forgive. I always knew that he did, and so I would force it. When someone did something to me or I felt some type of way, most of the time, because I knew it was right, I would just say yes, 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 Lord, I forgive them now. And I would just find that every time I saw the person, I would get angry again. I would be mad again, and I would have to talk to God again, and then I'd get mad again, and then I'd talk to God again, and the cycle was never ending. And so when I look back now, I noticed that I never really forgave people. I was fooling myself into thinking that's what I was doing, and it wasn't healthy for me. I just kept on, I just had so much anger, just like kind of like stored away for the time when I see that person's face, or when I think about what they've done to me, or even people in my previous, before I got saved. I thought I'd forgiven them for what they've done, but when I would hear or see their names or whatever, I would get mad again, and I just relive the moment and think about what I really wanted to do and how I should have, could have and would have did this and that, and you know, do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't healthy, because I was just living in the past in that moment, and I could not move forward because that's all I could see was that. And I felt like I hadn't been vindicated. That's how I felt. I felt like that can't happen to me. Like, I need to do something about it. And so I felt like basking in my emotions was kind of helping me, but it wasn't. It was making it worse. It was harboring the feelings, helping me to store them and pull them out whenever I felt like going that deep. But you know, and that's another thing we need to avoid in this year. When people do things against us, I find, let me speak for myself, I find that when I look back on how I used to deal with things, when people would do something to me, obviously when someone does something, there's an instant reaction, an instant emotion that surfaces as soon as something happens. Someone does something to you, and we can't help that feeling. But what we can help now is if we bask in that feeling, if we start to dwell in that feeling and start to encourage it and feed into it. So what I would do was, if say my friend did something now, that instant feeling would arise. You get that feeling in your heart or wherever you get it. But knowing what I know about God, and knowing that I should forgive, because usually that's the first thing that comes to mind. Kayreesha, don't worry, you got this, you gotta forget. What I would find myself doing is saying basically, no, I can't believe this girl's done this to me. I can't believe that boy has just done this to me. No, I've just been wronged. Lord, I don't want to hear you right now. Let me just be in my emotions right now. I've been hurt. Someone has hurt me. I have the right to sit here and think about it. I have a right to just assess everything that has just happened right now, to break it right down and to understand why she did that, how she did that. And I will go through it, and I would ignore the voice of God, and I would just like block it out. Like, please Lord, please, I know, I'll forgive her later. Let me go through my emotions. That's what I would do. And I would basically sit there and I would pull apart the whole situation, and I would think,
no, she planned to do that. She knew that when she was doing that, oh, so it makes sense. So when I spoke to her last week and she said this, then she must already knew she was going to do this.
Do you get what I'm saying? And we build ourselves up, we work ourselves up to the point where we feel like we gotta lock them off. When really, what I've learned now, the process now for me is, something happens, you get that feeling. I now listen, I welcome that voice of God that's speaking to me, saying, Kayreesha, listen, don't worry, you got this. All is well. All is well. You are blessed. It doesn't matter. The devil is a liar. I love you. Forgive. 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 And remember, in scripture, Jesus said to forgive your brother 70 times 7. And so now, that sticks with me. And I'm telling you that process, listening to the voice that's telling you not to walk down the road with your emotions, not to bask in that feeling of being hurt, and to dissect the situation, it will help you. It will save you from a lot of pain, a lot of hurt that you might be you will carry throughout the year. Because I don't believe that people do one thing to us and we're just like, you're locked off. As mature people, I don't believe that we do that. I feel like it's a build up of things that makes us think that this person is not trustworthy, and so I can't be around you, and so I'm blocking you off. So when we do that and we start tallying someone's wrongs, we build up the emotion from the first time to the last time, and then we come and then we're just like, we burn the bridge. And as I said before, leaving ourselves with all of the emotion, all of the hurt, all of the pain, while you've just set them free. It makes no sense. To wrap this up, what I'm trying to if I didn't make any sense, what I'm trying to encourage you to do in this year, first of all, is not to lead with your emotions. Practice makes perfect. Ever heard of that? Practice makes perfect. Don't lead with your emotions. And I want to read you another scripture. He who is slow to anger is better and more honourable than the mighty, and he who rules and controls his own spirit than he who captures a city. And so that's just kind of backing up what I've been saying to you. If you can control yourself, control your emotions, to not making them dictate the way that you act and respond to someone that's done wrong towards you, I'm telling you, that will bring you further than you locking off everyone you know. That will get you respecting that. But I know we're not looking for that, but that's a respectable attitude. Not only from the other person, but from yourself. That's something that you can be proud of in yourself, that you have that characteristic, you have that trait in your personality, that you're able to not be pulled to other people's level, not to seek revengeance. You're able to walk away from situations without adding fuel to fire. You're able to forgive people that don't even say they're sorry. All of that is that sign of maturity, strength. It's not weak at all. It's a sign of real strength when you can forgive someone wholeheartedly. And you know, when I mean wholeheartedly, I mean you let it go, free them permanently. So not just for now, not for a couple months, until you see that they've gone to Dubai and they're staying in the 5-star hotel. Not until you see that, you know, they're popping with their career, or they've started a business and it's thriving. I mean permanently, so you can be happy for anything that you see that has to do with them. My main point for you now and in this new year, forgive more and love more. Because when you can forgive, then the door is open for you to love. So, you know, when someone does something to you, talk to yourself positively. Tell yourself that you don't have to lock off any and everybody that does something wrong to you. Remember, they are human just like you. They make mistakes. You know, they might not know it's a mistake, but they make mistakes. They do things wrong like you do too, and necessarily don't see what they did wrong. And so you may not get an apology, but don't look for an apology to forgive. Forgive because you know that it's the right thing to do for yourself, for your future, for the blessings that you're waiting on. Know that forgiveness is key to these things. And also love more. Love more. I know in this time, like our generation, it's very, you know, it comes across hard to love people, because people are they're so feisty. They're just so feisty, man. Like it's just pure rudeness out here. But still, don't let this world change you. Be you and continue to make your light shine. Don't let the darkness dim your light and make you walk around with hate in your heart. Don't do it, because you know what, you might be the only light that someone sees. Is that real? Is that real? We're growing up in a world that has no desire for God, has no desire to know God or believe in God, and so you may be the only Christ that somebody sees. So you're gonna have to let your light shine. Don't let situations and circumstances dim your love that you have to give. And another one which is important, and I spoke about this a little bit on my Facebook Live: focus on purpose. I feel like this is the year of purpose. For me, this year 2016 has been groundwork. It's been foundation for me. Like I feel like my foundation has been laid. And this year in 2017, we need to focus on purpose. If we are focusing on purpose, we have less time to give to other things that are just going to slow us down, contaminate our hearts and our spirits. We have less time to give to those things because we're focused on that. And we will find that if we get caught up in other things of the world, things that don't concern us, things that are not going to help us, then we will fall off track. We will fall off track with our dreams, our visions, our calling, most importantly. And so if you get what I'm saying, when you're focused, when you have your calling in your vision and you have your dreams and your goals and you're going for it, if anything puts you off track, if there is anything that may distract you from getting to that expected end, you are more than likely going to turn away from it. You're more than likely going to avoid it. And forgiveness is being locking people off and having hate and all of these things, holding people up for certain things. That's one thing that will stop you from getting to your goals, because you will be caught up with your emotions and trying to figure out why someone did this, and all of that is wasted time that you're basically wasting. I did say on my Facebook that everyone needs to have a vision, a goal that is strictly off of your purpose here going into 2017. We're past the time where we're just gonna walk aimlessly into a new year. Now we need focus. We need something that we're going towards. Like I said, if you don't, you're gonna be going to and fro, to fro. Wherever the wind blows you, that is where you will be. There will be no purpose in your life. There will be no substance to it. You will more than likely spend your time helping other people get to build up their dreams, build up their own, get to their visions. And then you will come to December the 31st, 2017 and be like, what was this year about? What did I gain in this new year? I cut off a few people. No.
No, ain't nobody got time for that.
Write down your visions. I said this in my previous video, stop procrastinating. If you haven't seen that, you need to go and watch that, because that is going to be forever relevant. But you need to write down your goals. I like order, so I would put them to you yourself, smallest to biggest, something that's going to take something that can be done within a day or a couple hours, and at the bottom something that's going to take you, that's going to be more time consuming. When you see it written down, you have a better ability of actually accomplishing it, because when we put, yes we do remember, but when we try to keep it here, we don't know whether we're coming or going. We just kind of like, oh yeah, that was something I wanted to do, yeah, maybe I'll start working on it. No, but when we write it down, we can actually plan how we're actually going to accomplish that. How do we plan to accomplish it? And we have it written down. Or I was watching a girl's Facebook live, and her name is Chantel Brown, a lovely girl, and she was talking about a vision board, getting a vision board. Listen, I got mine, you better get yours. This year is not a year to play around. We can all get that step closer to accomplishing what we've been put here to do. And so I'm encouraging you, be a better you. Don't focus on locking people off and getting revenge or trying to make someone feel the way they made you feel. Don't focus on that. Focus on being better in your life. So many people did not make it to December the 31st, 2016. So many people didn't get that chance. And it's funny how when it's close to home, we like to reflect on these things, and then we like to make moves. But don't wait for it to come to your doorstep before you start doing something, before you start changing up the way you think and your attitude and the way you treat people. Don't wait for it to come to your doorstep. Just think now. You are one of the blessed ones that made it this far. What are you gonna do to show for it? But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling on. But listen, I love to encourage and uplift people. I do. And I like to say things that people don't necessarily want to talk about, because everybody wants to portray the baddie and the I'm hard, the I don't need nobody and the savage type of, and that's good for the other person, but me, you know, I wasn't always this way. But now all I want to do is speak goodness into people's lives. All I want to do is encourage people to do good and to think good and to speak goodness for themselves and over themselves. But listen, I'm going to wrap this up. My 3 main points: forgive more, love more. Don't lead with your emotions in 2017. Focus points: we need some purpose. We need your dreams and your visions written down. Don't go into this year, don't go through this year, because by the time I put this out, it will probably be 2017. But don't go through this year without some kind of focus points. Please. Don't let the wind slap you here, slap you there, slap you here, slap you. But guys, thank you for watching, and be sure to go and check out my Stop Procrastinating video. I'm telling you, it will bless you, and you know, it will encourage you to get up and do that thing that you've been putting off. Anyways, look out for more videos coming this year. I am really planning to put out a video every week. Please don't lock me off. Don't lock me now. Don't lock me. If I miss a week, don't lock me. That's gonna be my new thing. But yeah, a video weekly. And you know, let me know what it is that you want to see. I'm not an alien. I know that, you know, there's a lot of people with like 30k followers, and so you can't chat to them. I'm reachable. You can talk to me. I might not know everything, but what I do know, I want to share with you lot. Whether it's hair, you know, encouragement. Let me know wherever you catch me, in the comment section, on my Insta, Facebook. Just let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.